evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight for the second annual Fast Studio 10 Wraps Legends Million at Charlotte. Live tonight on LSRTV and iRacing Live. We welcome you into the Legends track at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Evan Pasoko, Andy Kessler, and Gabriel Wood along for the ride with you as we get set for 100 laps and get set to dish out quite a little bit of cash in this event. And we're excited to have you along for the ride, Andy. These drivers have been waiting to get this event off for the last couple of weeks, and finally they're just about set to take to the grid.
Yeah, they are. We're here at a pretty interesting racetrack. A lot of these intermediate tracks on the NASCAR circuit have this oval on the center, this Legends oval they call it, but I'm sure Gabe can talk a little bit more about this. It's kind of a unique thing because it's pretty flat, then you get up on a little bit of banking on that front stretch, and then all of a sudden you're back on that flat again. So it's a pretty interesting small track, and the laps usually quick by pretty quick here.
A lot of guys like to relate these Legends ovals a lot, Gabe, to something like a Bowman Gray with the lack of banking.
Yeah, it's a lot like a Bowman Gray. I kind of wish we had that track on the service. It'd be a lot of great racing. But here on the Legends Oval, it's almost like a road course in the shape of an oval. It's like Andy said, it's no banking in the corners and a little bit of banking on the straightaway. And then as the guys head down pit road, the key to tonight's race is just keeping your momentum up on these short little straightaways and also being smooth, because it's going to be a total rhythm. These guys are going to be very close.
This 100-lap feature has been set by time trials, heat races, a dash, and an LCQ. To the winner, $50 cash in payouts through the top 10. Enough talk. Let's get to rocket and rollin' from Charlotte and take a look at your LSRTV starting grid for this second annual Studio 10 Wraps Fast Legends Million. It'll be Chase Cabry's number 39 car that rolls from pole position tonight, outside pole to the driver of the 12. That's Mark Arthur, Michael Cozy Jr. in third, Spencer Preet in fourth, and Max Hanley in fifth.
Yeah, starting sixth tonight will be Jack Hanley, and Austin Jones in the 2 will start seventh. Eighth will be the 7 of Jackson Lewis. Todd Cousins in the 05 will start ninth. 10th will be the 99 of Dan Vining. And, of course, the 44 of Paul Fugate will start 11th, and James Bunce will round out the field in 12th.
Pace car going to get down and out of the way this next time by 100 laps. The caution flag is on, and caution laps will count towards tonight's 100-lap total distance. No fast repairs. What you brought to the track is what you got. And again, most importantly, a crisp $50 bill to the winner. The top 10 drivers of these 12 will walk away with some cash. So the pace car, the sharp right-hand turn down the exit of the pit lane. Chase Cabry going to get us underway. Green flag flies. We're racing at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The second annual Fast Legends Million is green and already getting physical. Contact with the 27. Spencer Preet up and over on the opening lap.
Yeah, the 88 gets involved in that also. A tough one right there. You get into turn one, all the jitters, and just hoping that car sticks going down into turn one. And I think a couple guys got checked up there, and you end up running in the back. Especially on a restart like that, when you're so close together like that, that's bound to happen.
And that was a very Bowman Gray-esque wreck there, Gabe. These guys go down to turn one. The 12 jumps to the inside of the racetrack, taps your race leader, the number 30 Dada Cabry in the back bumper. That car gets a little bit squirrely, and when he corrects it, he sends that 88 of Cozy up to the outside lane of the racetrack. There's nothing really that Spencer Preet could have done to avoid that.
No, and that's the kind of racing this kind of track produces. It's once these guys get spread out, it's going to be very difficult to pass once we get some green flag running. He just wanted to get as much as he could on the restart when everybody was lined up side by side. He tried to go for the lead and realized the lane was closed there on the bottom, and then it just totally backfired on him. It's very unfortunate, lap one of a 100-lap race. Let's see if these guys can calm down.
And an early caution slows us down. Spencer Preet 1 lap to the negative already. He sits down in the pit lane, which is basically turn 4 through to the first kink in the dog leg, if you're talking about the 1.5 intermediate NASCAR oval on this track. So Preet already 1 lap down. The flip but some pretty severe damage on that 27, but it looks like his night, for all intent and purposes, may be done. We know how important, obviously, qualifying is for this race, Andy, at a racetrack, again, that has no banking, and the banking is what allows these guys to go fast, that allows them to make passes, get runs. Because it is so flat, this could be a race of seeing just whoever can hold the bottom. Hugging that white line can be key. However, it is a very wide front stretch and back stretch when you head back to the pit lane in comparison to the turn. You can see some guys forcing the issue, dive into the inside if it comes to it later. We'll see, though.
Yeah, we will. And, you know, and also, too, it's being such a flat track and the high rate of speed that these cars are doing on this track, those right side tires take a beating here. I mean, that car is just a little top heavy and it leans way to the right. But we're getting ready to go green here. Chase Cabri leading the field again right here. Green flag back in the air, and he's off and running here back into turn number 1.
The top 3 single file. It's Cabri to turn 1, Hanley, then the 88 of Michael Cozy Jr. Behind him, the 36 machine slides backwards, give a spot to Todd Cousins. He moves up, but it looks like that 2 machine on the inside as well. Austin Jones picks up a position.
Yeah, all these guys, they're already getting sorted out on the bottom of the racetrack just after the restart. You know, they do not want to be caught out on the outside lane. You know, at most tracks, at like the regular Charlotte Oval in Atlanta and stuff like that, and the NASCAR cars, you can try and hold it on the outside. With this no banking. Like, there's not even a little banking like at Martinsville. It is just completely flat here on the infield, so you have no hope of holding it on the outside.
The top 3 drivers try to pull away all 11 cars on the lead lap single file at this juncture, but it is P1 and P2 the closest interval. Chase Cabri leads lap number 8 across the start-finish line. Max Hanley just behind him. Cabri beat out Hanley in the practice session by 2 spots. There's problems behind these guys, though. Caution flag is out, and it looks like it's Dan Viney's the 99 car. Problems at a turn number 4. That looks like a single car accident, and he went for quite a ride up and over at the start finish line, and I believe the 12 of Mark Arthur may get some damage as well.
Yeah, it looks like the 12 did get some of that right there, but it was just a 99 came off the corner there as the replay goes up on your screen. Loses control, tries to overcorrect it right into that outside wall, and ends up coming down like that. Man, it's just tough coming on, you know, and that's probably one of the hardest corners right there because you actually transition up onto a slight bit of banking that is on the front stretch. So, you know, the car doesn't want to turn, then all of a sudden it does turn, and I think that's right there caught the 99 a little off guard, possibly on that one right there. But a tough break for the 12 right there. Mark Arthur was involved in that first accident. And what happened with him was he got the EOL penalty sent to the back because they claimed him as the cause of that first caution. So he had to go to the back of the pack, and unfortunate for him, he ends up in the wreck.
Spencer Preet's gotten back out onto the racetrack. I believe he will be the lucky dog. He passes the pace car, so he'll get one of those 2 laps back. Dan Vining is now on the pit lane, 2 laps down. Paul Fugate as well in pit road, getting that number 44 car service. Currently scored 1 lap to the negative as well. And it is a very wide exit at a turn 4, Gabe. But again, because of the lack of banking, there's no lateral grip. These race cars are going to push up and up and up. And if you don't use every single inch of that racetrack, because we saw the lap before that, all of them were right plastered up against that safer barrier. If you don't go right up there, either you're going to have a really slow corner exit or that car's going to be loose. I think that's just simply a case of Vining trying to use every inch of the racetrack, and you misjudge it by, maybe 6 inches, and those tires ride up on the fence, and you find yourself in a big problem very quickly.
Yeah, down there on the front straightaway, you have all the room in the world down there through the tri-oval, but you know, you dare not use it. Like you said, if you try to work that bottom lane on the exit of the corner, you've already lost so much speed, it's not even worth it. You know, the only real way I could see somebody passing is really dive bombing somebody through 1 and through 3. That's about the only opportunity you're going to see for guys passing.
We'll see what Chase Cabri can do for this restart. It'll be the second time off of a caution flag. He brings us back under green. Lap number 14 in the works at Charlotte. Pace car ducks off to the right-hand side. Single file through turns 3 and 4. Green flag flies back underway at lap number 15. Single file to turn number 1. The 39 leads them all.
Hey, he got a great jump right there. Obviously, the 6 of Max Hanley was able to stick with him. Now the top 3 pulling away just a little bit. 2 or 3 car lengths over that 05 with Todd Cousins. Cousins having a little trouble here on this restart, getting going, but seems like he's got the ship righted now as he's got a little bit of pressure from that 2, Austin Jones, right behind him.
He sits just a little over half a second behind the third-place driver, Michael Cozy Jr. It's the top 3 battling, looking to move for the race lead. To the inside, the 6 of Max Hanley forces the issue, nose to the left rear of that car, and you take the unpreferred lane. You don't swing out to the fence. You back it off a little bit, diamond the corner, get that inside position, and now on the bottom in 3 and 4, he'll get it at the start-finish on. New race leader, the 6 car.
I was looking at the race. I was looking at the race for that lead. It's contrasting of 2 different lines. The 39 car, he was running right on the bottom in the entrance to the corner. And the 6 car, Max Hanley, he kind of opened it up on the entrance to the corner, and he was able to hit the apex with a carry with a little more speed, and that allowed him to get the lead. Sorry, Andy.
But he gets to that top spot, and that number 6 machine now tries to pull away. It was a good challenge, by the way, topside for Chase Cabri. He held in there for the longest time. Eventually, though, he lost that at a turn number 4 at a Michael Cozy Jr., who was even applying the pressure for 3rd at that time. Now in 2nd, trying to apply the pressure to the race leader, Max Hanley. Cabri, though, not planning on backing off. Left side tires in the grass, trying to get any sort of an advantage. He gets sideways, loses a little bit of time in P3.
Yeah, he does. That's exactly what I was going to talk to Gabe about there just a second ago, was the fact that he was able to battle hard on that outside line. That was unbelievable to see. We know we typically, or Gabe just mentioned it also, that outside lane is definitely not where you want to be, but he battled hard out there for a couple laps, but obviously he wasn't able to make it happen after that, and the problem with that is that you end up wearing the tires out too much on that outside lane like that. As the lead battle for the lead was actually starting to heat up a little bit right there with the 88 of Cozy Jr. Looking like he had a run right there, but he had to back out. Looked like he got loose off of turn number 4 right there. So these guys battling hard up front, even though we're only about a quarter of distance through.
Yeah, Andy, it looks like a combination of what all 3 of us are talking about. Evan was saying you have to use all the racetrack on the exit of 4. The 6 car, Max Hanley, he could not use it because the 39 car was on his outside, so he could not get the run. He was stuck on the inside. I think that's how 39 was able to hang on so well, but I think that outside lane is just not viable for that many laps. You may be able to hang on to the outside for maybe half a lap like you saw Chase do, but it's not going to be a viable line to pass somebody.
And you know that because once he slid behind Cozy, he jumped down in line. So the outside, really, I think the objective there was maybe try to get in front of the 88, if not even challenge Max Hanley back. If that car makes a mistake, you're there. Assuming he doesn't slide up the racetrack, you're in a pretty good spot. Once you get past, you jump down in line, you try to get back at it. And Cabri, I mean, these top 3 guys are so very evenly matched. P4 is Austin Jones. He started 7th. He is the leader of that secondary pack we're talking about. 1.7 seconds off of the race lead. That's about the interval that second pack has been sitting at since we went back green, because your leader's got such a good jump. So everybody pretty even. You see that 39 slowly starting to creep back into the picture. He wasted no time trying to get back at the 88, couldn't do it, and now the 88 of Cozy starting to get physical. Gave a tap that time at a turn number 2. Max Hanley definitely knows he's there now.
Yeah, just like we saw just a little while ago, Evan, at the Five Flag Speedway with the Snowball Derby, that if you have that bottom line, if you can hold it and run a decent speed, it's going to be tough for somebody to pass you unless they give you that bumper. And speaking of bumpers, Gabe, these bumpers on these cars, quite interesting. It's real easy to get hooked into each other.
Yeah, I think usually the bumpers on these cars are about 1 inch or 2 inches wide. I think some of these guys have reinforced those tonight.
And they're putting them to use early. Question is, without the lateral grip, how physical can you be? Look at this. Lap traffic in front of your leaders now. It was a side-by-side fight with the number 9 of James Bunce and the 99 of Dan Vining. Slow migration to the outside of the racetrack for the 9. Maybe checked up Cozy just a little bit in behind that 6 of Max Hanley into the corner. Your leaders are able to get through. The lap cars, they're staying high. They're doing everything they can, but if you catch them out of the corner, you catch them into the corner, it's a bad time. It can cost the leaders. Contact Cozy. Gonna get hit in the left rear. He will hang on. Caution flag will fly, though. James Bunce up and over. Big wreck for the driver of the 9 car.
Yeah, a little bit of contact. Chase Cabri in the 88 making a little contact. A great job, though, by Cozy Jr. hanging on to that thing, and the reason for the caution was just behind those guys, the lap machine and Dan Vining. saw that happening, and he had to make an evasive move to get out of the way. He ended up spinning the car out, so that was the reason for the caution. But that was some tough battle right there. It looked like the bumpers locked up a little bit, like we just were talking about. Get a little squirrely, but a great piece of driving by that 88.
It was a spectacular piece of driving to keep that car out of the fence. A lot of wheel action, and Cabri over the radio apologized and immediately gave for that contact on the 88 at Cozy, but he pushed up that slightest bit. You're going to go to the inside. If you get that inside, it's going to give you such a preferred lane. Drag race down that back straightaway, and you can have an advantage to turn 3. He went for it. Both of those guys hang on, and then actually the two cars, as Andy mentioned, that get together, those two lap machines that your leaders had just worked around. So thankfully, none of the lead lap drivers involved heavily in that caution flag.
Yeah, a couple different emotions. 39, he's very apologetic. 88, I think a very sarcastic "I love you" I heard over the radio, so I don't think he was very happy about that little bumper he gave him.
And as we saw, Andy, at Five Flags, drivers never forget, especially at a racetrack like this where the chrome horn looks like it's put there for one reason and one reason only, and that is so that when you hit somebody, you don't drive halfway up their rear axle. There's something to stop you. These guys might get physical tonight. You talk about a $50 purse to your race winner. What about the other spots? Second place tonight, $22.73. Third place going to get $13, $11 to fourth. It continues on through P5 with $8 as well as P6. Seventh will get $7, eighth with $6, ninth position with $5 as well as 10th. It's not a bad day when you look at 9 drivers on the lead lap. If you just finish the race from this point without having any problems, you're walking away with some money, but everybody wants the $50 courtesy of Studio 10 Wraps, and that's where they're getting fun for.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even, listen, second place, that's not a bad deal right there. It's not very often you get some paid events like that in iRacing. So lap down cars now to the inside. Interesting restart here. Green flag back in the air. A good jump by Max Hanley, but he's got some pressure right now. Cabri, the top 3 now, single file into turn 1.
That 9 car tried to check up, let all the race leaders go by on the top side. He got hit from behind. Spencer Preet says, let's go. We got to try to get back to the lead lap. And that sent that 9 of Bunts in the middle of the track, 3 wide at a turn 4. Look at the 12 car of Mark Arthur. P6 on the restart, P7 at the line. More contact with the 05 of Todd Cousins. That's back for P6.
If you look at these lap cars, how they started on the inside. They quickly got out of the way. It was a very smart move by those guys, the 2 guys on the inside. Problem is, they had about 10 other cars or 9 other cars they had to let by on the outside. So these leaders, they're not exactly done with lap traffic. You're going to see them about every 10 laps as we got a caution on the racetrack.
That's the 05 of Todd Cousins. Sideways at a turn number 2, the yellow flag will fly. That was in and around that 3 and 2 wide that we were talking about. A battle between the 7 and the 12. It looked like that Salvador Jackson Lewis just overcooked the corner entry, Andy, and that 05 on the outside of the racetrack got hit out into the grass, and once you're in the grass, the car's got no grip left. He stayed in the gas to try to limit the damage and time that he would take from that. You take a look at the replay now, and by the time those tires hooked back up on the asphalt, the car went right around.
Yeah, the 7 had a good run there going into the corner. The problem was he didn't get slowed up enough, and when you transition back down that flat track, just pushed way up the track, got into the 05, and Todd Cousin went for a little ride around the grass there. Obviously very slippery. Once these cars get into that grass with no tread on these tires, so can't imagine that's a fun little ride there. But yeah, as soon as you hit the gas pedal, he spins around. We get our caution flag back out on the speedway. It gives these leaders another chance to bunch things up and get going here. And one guy keep an eye on, I think, is that 2 machine. Started 7th. He's worked his way up into that 4th spot right now. Austin Jones doing a good job here early on. See if he's got any tires left in that machine. And if he can find himself battling up here in the top 3.
Yeah, Jackson Lewis in the 7 car, he was the reason pretty much for the caution pushing up the racetrack. If this had been any other quarter mile, not one of these infield courses, that move may have worked, that outside move, because he had the banking to hold him up. He just did not have the banking to maintain that speed and pushed up the racetrack, and it looked like he lost it a little bit and then corrected and overcorrected into the car. Sorry, lost the number 05, Todd Cousins, excuse me. He just did not have the banking. It's going to be a recurring factor. We're already close to halfway It's going to be a problem for these guys.
Zero lateral grip and no additional tires that these drivers are permitted to add on to these cars. So whenever you see them go to the pit lane, that is strictly for damage repair purposes. They can't be putting any fresh tires on these cars. This event based off of the Real Legends Million that takes place at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the first year of the Legends All-Star. Over 300 Legends cars showed up. 50 Bandoleros as well participated. $250,000 to the winner of that. So not quite as much as that on the line tonight, but Daniel Hemrick went on to win that race, and now he's a staple name in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Somebody hopes that they could win this second annual Fast Legends Million presented by Studio Ted Raps, that maybe get theirself a name inside of this Fast Series and throughout its different divisions, or as well on the short track side of things of iRacing in general. The lights go back off on top of the American Childhood Cancer Organization Ford Mustang GT pace car. They're going to go straight down out turn number 3. Let's see what Max Handley can do. Top side of the racetrack, green flag flies, back underway at lap number 47. That 27 on the inside lap car, Spencer Preet not giving an inch to your leaders. He's out in the grass.
Wow, what a move right there. I'm surprised he was able to hang on to that. That's going to allow the top 3 now to break away from the lap traffic. The 2, now Austin Jones has to deal with it now as he's going to try to get himself around that 27 machine. Top 3, though, Spencer Preet, though, a fast car early on. He was obviously caught in that first wreck there. Finds himself down a couple of laps currently, but he's got a fast car. He might be able to, if he can, get up there and try to maybe get one of those laps back the hard way.
The spot that he's in does not allow him to get away by Gabe because he's 2 laps down. 1 lap down for the longest time was James Bunch. Problems for the number 9 car at a turn number 4. It looked like he came into the pit lane and then never drove back out. So he'll fall 3 laps to the negative. That now puts Preet in that lucky dog position, P10. First driver off of the lead lap, but 2 laps down. We talked about Bunce backing it off on the restart, letting your leaders go. The 27 had no intentions of doing so because if he's fast enough to pass your race leader, and he was the fastest driver in practice, by the way, that's the old-fashioned way of getting a lap back.
Yeah, I just don't think with the amount of passing we're seeing, and I don't think it's going to happen. You're passing the leaders, but usually on other racetracks, with a smaller pit road and a shorter racetrack or a shorter pit road, these guys, if you pit, you're going to stay on the lead lap, and then the guy behind, he's going to get his lap back because he's going to be a lap down, or he's going to be the only car a lap down. If any of these guys pit before the caution, they're going to go a lap down with how long this pit road is. That's going to put them in front of the 27 of Spencer Preet. It's all chance and opportunity for the 27. He made the mistake, or he was caught up in a mistake early, and he's trying to recover for it. He's in that 10th position, so he's got a little bit of money on his side, but he wants a lot more.
These lap times are averaging just about 16.3, 16.4 seconds when you talk about the fastest drivers out there on the racetrack. It does not take long to quickly knock off the about 47 laps that remain at Charlotte. Past the halfway point, we begin to count down towards the end of this second annual Fast Legends Million at Charlotte. Battle for the race lead. Chase Carey nose to the inside. Doesn't do it that time, but he's all over the back of Max Handley as once again, Andy, the top 3 cars, the ones that pull away.
Yeah, they are obviously the fastest cars in this group here tonight. They've shown it since the drop of the green flag right now. Chase Cabry, though, wants to get back to that top spot. Started on the pole, dropped back to 3rd. He's worked his way up to the 2nd spot. He's got a pretty fast car right now, just looking like he's a little loose off of turn number 4 right now. But he's definitely getting them on entry. The problem for him is the drive off the corner right now. Max Handley's got him covered.
And you need to get that run down the straightaways. Again, they're not that long in reality, but when you look at the length of this racetrack, those straightaways, your best opportunity to pass, unless you're going to hit the guy in the middle of the quarter, Gabe, getting that run off, and maybe even just having to get that inside of position, almost forcing the issue to the inside on the straightaways is the key thing, and that's probably your best bet at making a pass.
Even using that bumper, we've seen it already, the 39, the 6, and the 88 all getting together. The 88's really been the only one to lose it, and that was coming off of 2. So using that bumper, it's not exactly a gimme. You're going to have to work for it, even if you do lay the bumper. Looks like the 39 of Chase, he's getting ready to use it, and he's going to dive down to the inside. He's going to take the lead.
Got to the left rear, made a sharper turn off into the race lead. At a turn 2, though, the crossover. Hanley to the inside of the racetrack. The door will get shut, and he shows his displeasure a shot in turns 3 and 4. Not enough, though. Chase Cabri leads it at 40 laps to go.
He tried right there to give him a little shot, get him maybe push up the racetrack in 3 and 4. It wasn't going to happen. Now Cabri back to the lead. He's got a lap car right in front of him. That's the 44 of Paul Fugate. We'll see if that comes into play here in the next lap or so right now. But Chase Cabri, he did a great job right there. I thought for sure that Max Hanley had him on the crossover, but it wasn't to be.
And they catch him at a pretty good time. The 44 of Paul Fugate, left hand out the window, waves them all by on the inside, and that doesn't have to deter those race leaders much from their preferred lane. It is Cabri, Handley, and Cozy Jr. 1, 2, and 3. Over 3.5 seconds back to Austin Jones, who has been sitting P4 for the majority of this race. These top 3 guys, though, still all evenly matched. Clean air got to be helping a little bit, but again, in racetrack at these speeds, aerodynamics not really a huge factor, if anything at all. It's about what you do with what the driver does behind the wheel. What you do with that car, and the 6 machine knows that he might have to rough him up, and he took another look there in 3. He's not shy about this.
Oh no, and he's not shy, and he's not afraid to use that bumper. You know, he may try to move on the inside and force the 39 up in that high lane as soon as they go around one of these lap cars and force him to run that outside lane behind the car. So he may use one of these lap cars, not the 99 right now, but maybe later in the run, you know, toward the end of the race, if they get the opportunity, you may see him use one of the lap cars as a pick.
And the 6 of Hanley hesitated there a little bit, Andy. That should have worked out in favor of the 6 and the 88 because Cabri went into turn 1 side by side with the lap car, so he couldn't quite arc it into the corner. The 6 and the 88 could, so they should have got a big run, but they were a little bit hesitant on where that car would go. They backed it off, and actually the 39 gained in all of that.
Yeah, he did. He gained about 3 car lengths right now going through into turn number 1 again here on lap number 68. So the time's running out for these guys, and I think Hanley knows that. And I
Caution.
think that's, caution.
Just when you think it was about to get all sorted out, caution flag flies. It's problems for the number 12 of Mark Arthur and Paul Fugate. It's contact in turns 3 and 4. Fugate on the outside of the racetrack, waving them by, just like we saw the leaders go by on the inside. Arthur, though, overshoots the entry to turn number 3. He gets hiked up, spins around. That'll cause a caution flag, and we'll group him back up for a restart. Inside of 30 laps to go, and everything that we just talked about out the window, because the 7 remaining drivers on the lead lap, they'll be all right back up on each other.
Yeah, they will. And one, looks like Paul Fugate's in position for the lucky dog. However, he was involved a little bit with that, so I'm not sure if there actually will be a lucky dog in this, or maybe Spencer Preet might actually. Yeah, it looks like Spencer Preet, he's going to end up with that. So that's going to put him 1 lap down. So we know he's got a fast car, so he's only 1 lap now to the negative to try to get himself back in contention for the big prize here before this thing's done. But we're running out of time. 30 laps to go as they cross the line now, so it's crunch time for these guys.
Tonight's Fast Legends Million at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, presented in part by Studio 10 Wraps, giving out the $50 bonus to the race winner tonight with the help of the best designers in the business. We can take your idea and turn it into the best looking car on the track. Visit studio10wraps.com for more information, or give them a call at 770-965-9113 for more information. This restart going to be just about, I'll say, the ballpark of 27 or so laps to go, Gabe. Chase Cabri obviously knows the importance of getting a good jump on the restart, but I mean, with Max Hanley on the bumper and that 88 of Cozy, who have both shown that they have gone to the bumper so far tonight, I don't think you could really be feeling safe. You got to nail this restart, and although that window from when the pace car jumps off to the green dropping and your control car ability is not that large, you have to get something here that gets you away from turn 1. We saw turn 1, it all broke out on the opening lap. Late in the race, the same thing could happen. You want to be as far away from that as possible.
Yeah, you know, with only a quarter of this race left, about 25, 26, 27 laps to go, yeah, it's not if you use the bumper to pass the guy, it's when do you use it. You know, do you just do it right off the restart with about 20 laps to go? Do you give him time to get back to your front bumper? You know, that's going to be that's going to be the deciding factor in this race, because all these guys, they're equal pace. So you're not going to run away from the guy in front of you.
The lights off at a pace car the last time. Restart delayed one additional lap. They go back out this time, but it'll be 26 laps to go. Lap car to the inside of the racetrack. That's the number 9 of James Bunce. Spencer Preet gets a wave by. He is now just 1 lap to the negative, as well as Paul Fugate for P9 and 8 off of the lead lap. The pace car goes off. What does Chase Cabri do? On the outside, green flag flies, we're underway. A great restart, though, behind him. That's 6 of Max Hanley all over the deck lid to turn 1. Contact for the race lead. They're beating and banging.
Yeah, he timed that just right, trying to arc it into the corner. Tried to get that inside line off the corner. Didn't work. Chase Cabri able to hang on to the lead right now. Max Hanley, though, doing everything he can to get off the corner. He's 2 car lengths behind, back into 1.
He gave him at least 2-3 shots, got the left side tires into the grass at a turn 2. Not enough. Chase Cabri is doing a good job of holding that wheel steady despite everything those guys behind him are dishing out.
Look back in the 4th position. Austin Jones, he finally got a good restart for the first time tonight. And he's showing he's got speed and another caution.
And it's problems on the front stretch. P5, the number 36 of Jack Handley. Real squirrely down to turn number 1. He will be the cause of the caution, just behind that 2 of Austin Jones, and that is simply just a self-spin off the corner. We mentioned why when we talked about the wreck earlier with Dan Vonning going up and just catching the fence and eventually going up and over. The fact that you use every single inch of the racetrack, Andy, that is why, because you don't want to have to jerk that wheel to the left at all. You want to make that the most progressive and least intensive left-hand turn off the corner, be able to use all of the racetrack. And you see Jack Hanley, he left about 10 feet up there, and that little bit of extra wheel upset that race car. It snapped around.
Yeah, it did, and obviously we're getting late in the run. These guys haven't been able to change tires, so obviously the tires, he's been battling a not so good handling car anyway all race long, so you got to imagine those tires are pretty worn out, and this late in the going like that, it doesn't take much with the amount of grip that's left on these tires. But just to note right there, Spencer Preet just got himself back on the lead lap here in the late going here. Looks like about 20 or 19 laps he'll have at the restart. So Spencer Preet in that 8th spot slowly has gotten his way back to the lead lap, Evan, and we know he's got a fast car. We'll see how quickly he can get up to the front.
And he says it's not over. All it takes is an incident, even if that, without it even. You can get a couple of spots, get a yellow, get another restart, 2-3 more spots, you're right back in the conversation. Austin Jones, though, Gabe, as you mentioned, it has been the top 3 all race long. Cabri, Hanley, and Closey, 1, 2, 3 now, started 1, 5, and 3 on the racetrack. Coincidence that the top 4 drivers started on the inside lane of the racetrack? I would think not. However, Jones did get a very good restart that last time, and he was hanging with them. So not only does he need another good restart, that's a driver to keep an eye on, but Max Hanley, boy, if he gets another restart like he did the last time, then this is still a fresh ball game. Inside of 20 laps to go now, Chase Cabri has far from got this one locked up.
Yeah, I think the 6th car, Max Hanley, he made the mistake on the restart. He went a little bit high and got on the right rear fender of the 39, That's not really the spot. You can just spin him out, which is a blatant wreck, instead of just trying to move the guy out of the way. If he had done that, there probably wouldn't have been a disqualification if he had wrecked him. But, you want to get to the inside and just kind of move him out of the way. Expect him to try and make a different move on the restart.
Don't wreck him, just rub him. I think something about that everybody likes to talk about. So lap cars come up the inside of the racetrack. Green flag flies. We're underway. And Cabri has that 6 plastered behind again. Big shot to turn 1. Tries to hook it up at a 2. But again, though, that 6 car left side tires in. He cheating in the grass, got sideways, lost some time.
Yeah, getting in the grass like that's just definitely going to get him loose and allow him to lose some time like he just did right there. He's definitely got a great car, though, on the entry of the corner. He's definitely catching them, but I think Chase Cabri is doing a great job on the entry, and he's getting a better run off the corner, and that's obviously where you make up most of your time right now. 2 car lengths, though, that's it as they head back to 1.
Things getting heated back in the pack. Meanwhile, the number 2 of Austin Jones did not have the preferred lane to turn 3 on the restart because the 7 of Jackson Lewis, 9 laps down, forced it to the inside. The 2 was not happy about it, asked him what he was doing. The 7 replied, racing, and the 2 goes for some redemption. He tried to get to the bumper real hard in 4. He missed. It costs him 2 positions. Mark Arthur and Jack Handley pass him.
You know, at this point in the race, you know, the retaliation, he's up for money. I would not have gone back for the retaliation. Wait till the end of the race to get the guy back. You know, he's up for a big cash payout up there in the 4th position. He had that position locked down. You know, I don't really agree with that move of him paying him back.
He hunted him down in 3 and 4. He couldn't get the job done. Meanwhile, behind them, the 36 of Jack Handley gives a shot to that 7 of Jackson Lewis, who is running in front of the drivers. P5 on back, and he's a lap car. The 2 now of Austin Jones goes in, makes another move to the back bumper, hits him, opens up the door though for Handley. That is now side by side for the number 5 spot rather. That 36 now gets the door shut by the 2. All of this going on behind the race leaders. These guys not happy with each other.
Yeah, and it's all happening right in front of Spencer Preet, who just got himself back in the lead lap. He's worked his way up to that 7th spot. He's trying to get even more right now as he's working that back bumper of Jack Handley. The problem for him though, he's running out of laps here.
Battle for the race lead. Still 0.3 of a second between Chase Cabri and Max Handley. There's a lot going on down the back straightaway. The number 2 of Austin Jones, the 36 of Jack Handley, and the 27 of Spencer Preet. Those drivers running bumper to bumper to bumper, P5, 6, and 7 across the start-finish line, but 6 seconds behind the race lead, Gabe. That's about a third of a lap.
Yeah, only about a 15 to 16 second lap around here. Yeah, speaking of running out of time, it's 10 to go, but that's about 5 minutes.
That 7 machine's got a lot of company behind him. That 2 car still there, and he'll give him a shot to turn 1, and he spins him out finally. It took 4 or 5 tries, but finally, Austin Jones dumps Jackson Lewis in turns 1 and 2, Andy. I understand the objective of the 7 car to be racing him, but antagonizing him over the radio probably didn't help his case.
Nah, I was just going to say that, you know, telling him on the radio to, hey, come and get me, try again. I don't think, you know, guess what? It worked this time.
And he's got 9 laps down, so, I mean, why not have some fun with him?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You bait a guy that's in a top 5 spot to, as Gabe said, throw away a top 5 run to go after and get you. If he's given an EOL penalty, he'll go back to at least P8, but, I mean, he tried to wreck him 4 or 5 times. He finally got him.
They just said, too, they're not going to give him a penalty, so they said that the 7 shouldn't have been forcing his way like that up there, battling those guys when he's 9 laps down. And they said for taunting him on the radio, they're not gonna give him an EOL. So
these admins need to be.
My props to the administration there. That's a good call. Right
I'll
there.
give you the benefit of the doubt, racing 9 laps down, but when you're on the radio telling them to come get you, I don't know if I'm able to defend you or not.
These
Yeah,
admins
exactly,
need to start working for NASCAR.
So with that, not only is that fun back there, guys, but this now gives us one final restart for the race win in this 2nd annual Fast Legends Million, presented by Studio Ted Raps. We're working under the yellow flag right now at lap number 95. Chase Cabri, Max Handley, Michael Cozy Jr., Mark Arthur, and Austin Jones run 1 through 5. This restart will be the final one on the night. Do we make it across the start-finish line green? I don't know, but I'm thinking we're going to be in the ballpark of about 3 or 2 laps to go at the end of this one. And Max Handley, he's been pretty physical, Andy, in 1 and 2. The last 2 restarts, I can only imagine and pray for that 39 to Chase Cabri, because it's going to hurt when they get down there, I would think.
Yeah, he better get the restart of his life on this one. He better fool him out somehow, check him up, do something. But he's going to have to, Chase Cabri's going to have a phenomenal restart if he doesn't want to get bumped again going into turn number 1. Because, you know, Max Handley, and Max Handley's not doing it to be malicious. You know, he's racing hard and he's doing what he's got to do. And everything he's doing is okay in my book. And I just think that this time it's going to be a little bit harder when they get the green.
Well, he's doing it because $50 is a lot better than $22.73. That's the difference between P1 and P2, Gabe. Is there anything that 39 to Chase Cabri can do here on the defensive besides get up on the wheel and on the gas pedal?
Hold on. That's about it. Strap your seatbelt in. You know, like Larry Mack says, tighten them up one more time. Hey, we're coming to the restart. Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to sit aside and watch the 6 car, see what he can do, because he's had a lot of practice on these restarts trying to get around as the pace car pulls away.
2 laps to go. A green-white checker at the Bowman Gray of iRacing. Green flag back in the air at Charlotte. It's Chase Cabri to turn 1. Here comes Max Hanley. Wide entry to the corner. Arcs it low. It's still the 39 down the back.
It's still a 39, but the battle's real close now as they come into turn number 3. A little bit of a bump right there, a shot as they come to the line right now. White flag in the air.
The 6 car, lucky he's got a bumper there. The radiator would be out of that car. He's still on the bumper, though. Contact from behind, though. Cozy wants second. He roughs up the 6, and it's clean air for Chase Cabri. Turn 4 for the final time. You can bring it all the way to the bank. Checkered flag at Charlotte, and the Fast Legends Million to Chase Cabri. Max Hanley second. Michael Cozy Jr. in third. Boys have at it. Great finish.
Oh, this was a fantastic race. Loved every minute of it. These guys put on a great show last year, too, with Nick DeCampo getting the win. Obviously not here to defend his title, but, man, he did a great job right there for this race. These guys put on a great show this week. Last year it ended under caution, unfortunately. At least this season, these guys got it done under the green flag, and it was a phenomenal race.
Man, when you sat back and watched it, did you enjoy the view?
Yeah, I'm enjoying the 39 doing burnouts on the front stretch. That's the cutest little thing I've ever seen.
Well, he burns down that U.S. Legends Ford 34 Coupe to celebrate, and he earned this one. You can see the back bumper on it. There is a noticeable dent. I mean, he took a couple of shots.
Yeah, you know what? These cars are so awesome. Just to look at them, I just... Every time I see these cars on track, I'm just waiting for that passenger to jump out the window with a Tommy gun, you know, like back in the day in Chicago and, you know, when the Mafia was pigging around. But, you know, these cars are great, man. They put on a great show, and they're fun to drive, too.
They're slightly less intimidating, but equally as fun to keep an eye on. Your winner in the 2nd annual Studio Ted Raps Fast Legends Million at Charlotte is Chase Cabri. Max Hanley, Michael Cozy Jr. round out the podium, and the payouts go to Mark Arthur, Austin Jones, Spencer Preet, Paul Fugate, Jack Hanley, Todd Cousins through 9th on the lead lap, and James Bunce in 10th. We'll talk to your top finishers in a moment. We'll step away, and the post-race show from Charlotte back in a moment. You're watching Fast on LSRTV and iRacing Live.
While lions are notorious for their voracious appetites, they spend a great deal of time feeding other creatures. In fact, lions will take great care to ensure there's plenty to go around. As you can see, they keep giving with utter ferocity. Bravo, lions, and bon appetit. Do good, be a lion.
Trucking has always been a part of me. It started years ago when my dad and granddad were hauling vegetables to market in Liverpool. The family immigrated to Canada in the late 60s and settled near Alliston, Ontario. I bought my first truck in 1982 and Mercer Trucking was born. Today, Mercer Trucking has over 50 trucks in terminals in Toronto and Los Angeles. Our storage facilities at both terminals can handle any size of distribution needs throughout North America. We service the continental U.S., including Hawaii and Alaska. We run over 120,000 miles per month and some of the best equipment on the road today. We specialize in less than truckload shipments, show freight, we do rush team service deliveries, and haul your refrigerated or heated product. Our regular team service from Canada to California is second to none, and our staff and drivers are among.
Once its sights are set, nothing can stop the ferocious lion from capturing its prey. Relying on keen senses, lions search patiently before striking with alarming speed. Wait for it. Gotcha, Mr. Piece of Rubbish. He is truly the master of his environment. Do good, be a lion.
a move. Truex on the outside, contact made. 56 slides in at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Yeah, we. We're gonna.
Monza is a very historic track. It's been around since the 20s, and it's gone through several permutations.
We're back live for the LSRTV post-race show at the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway Legends Oval as the second annual Studio Ted Raps Fast Legends Milligan comes to a close tonight. Chase Cabri, your big winner. We'll talk to him in a moment, but first, down pit side with the driver of the number 12 car. Mark Arthur is down there, and Andy, you've got a word with our fourth place finisher tonight.
That's right. I am down here with the 12 of Mark Arthur. Mark, kind of a crazy night out there. It looked like a lot of fun, though. You guys were out there. You had a couple issues there early on. Got sent to the back. You were up front, started in that second spot. Got sent to the back. Got yourself caught up in a couple little things, but you're able to work your way back up and get a solid fourth-place finish.
Yeah, I think I passed everybody from fifth on back 2 or 3 times. It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty tight. I mean, if the cars hold the bottom, you can't do anything on the outside. It's just impossible. But I don't know. That top 3, I wasn't catching them. I mean, Cozy was asking me to give him some room on the start. I just told him, I said, we're kind of teammates. I says, don't worry about me, man. If I was gaining on you guys, it might be a different story. But I'm happy to ride behind him there.
Well, you were able to come back up the second annual Fast Millions race. You did a good job. Got yourself back up to the fourth spot. Got some money coming your way. You got to be pretty excited about that. Sponsor shout outs. Who do you want to give a shout out to for getting you here?
Just shout out to Cozy. Me and him worked on the setup quite a bit. It was a lot better about a month ago when we started working on it, but we might have practiced a little bit more. We might have had something for those front 2. And like to thank Daniel and Paul, of course, for putting this on fast, and LSR, of course, top notch always. I think Max is on the way, by the way. We gave him the link, so he may be in here in just a few minutes.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it, and congratulations again on this solid fourth-place finish here tonight.
Thanks.
There you have it. There's Mark Arthur, fourth-place finisher. I think Gabe, though, is caught up with our third-place running driver, the 88.
Yep, I'm down here with Michael Cozy Jr., the number 88 driver. Michael, you had you played bridesmaid and second bridesmaid for most of the night. You kind of ran the second and third position, never really able to get up front. What did it look like looking on those front 2 guys? Just battling for the win, beating on each other.
Well, I mean, I was kind of surprised I was up there. I mean, I knew the car had speed, but I didn't. Honestly, I didn't think it had all that in it. As the race, went on, it got really, really, really tight. And I started to fall off as restart. I just, man, I killed the right front. I had a little bit of damage too. I think I didn't help. I got to apologize to my teammate because I didn't have anywhere to go. I ended up hitting him. He ended up flipping in front of me, so I apologize to him. But yeah, man, it was. I gave it all I had. It was just a little too tight.
Yeah, you're talking about being involved in that wreck or being next to it. Right there close to halfway, the 39 got into you and kind of half spun you right as you guys got past those lap cars. Well, did the car change after that? Did spinning those tires a little bit and getting the car back under control? Did it affect how the car handled after your incident?
Probably a little bit. Probably not as much as I thought. I don't know. It was like I said, it just kind of progressively got tight, and the early damage. And plus, I was it was only 100 laps, and I didn't know how many cautions we would get, so I was just going full out, trying to stay up there because I know whoever's running second, I can't think of his name. He was they kind of swapped positions, and they were beating and banging off each other, each restart and going off in the corners. So I was trying to stay up there just in case something happened, but just trying to stay at striking distance. But yeah, like I said, just got too tight for me.
Yeah, Michael, you kept your rear bumper relatively clean. Didn't really have anybody to challenge with behind you. You know, you were. I think if you were able to get past those guys, we would have been talking about you getting in victory lane. But Michael, you had a great third place finish tonight. Who gets you on track?
Well, I gotta give a big thanks to Mark Arthur. Wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for him. Um, he had a solid finish. Like I said, I gotta apologize to my other teammate Spencer. I certainly don't like getting to my teammates and flipping them, but that was just kind of how it happened. But he made a really good comeback. I was really bad at it. Don't got any sponsors on the car. Yeah, I believe that's it. Appreciate you guys broadcasting. Daniel Vining and Paul Boswell, them guys are fast, and all the admins and everybody who makes it go.
Michael, congratulations on your great run tonight, and I believe Andy is caught up with the second place driver.
That's right. I'm down here on pit road with our second place finisher, the 6, Max Hanley. And Max, you came home with a second place finish, but it looked like for a while there you had that lead up until the late going there, until Chase got around you. Talk about the track, how the handling was for you, and did it fall off much, or were you pretty happy with it?
I think the car stayed pretty much the same throughout the whole run, but towards the end it got a little tighter, and I guess that's where Chase was able to get past me.
Well, you end up coming home second. Obviously, not the top spot, not getting your name on that hardware, but you still come out with a little bit of money. Talk about those last few restarts there, racing the 39 there for the win there. Each and every restart, it looked like you guys were really battling hard going into one. You were really giving them the bumper. It seemed like you had a better entry on the corner, but he was getting you from center off.
Yeah, he was definitely better on the exit of the corner. I was able to keep up with him pretty good on the restarts without any lap bars getting away, and I figured the only way I was going to get past him in those late laps was to give him a little shot going in, but I wouldn't give him anything more than he couldn't handle, and he was just able to hold on.
Yeah, it definitely looked like those shots you gave him, he was definitely able to keep it on the bottom side, didn't push up the track and give you that inside lane. So with that said, though, you still get second. You got a pretty decent payout here for this 100-lap, I call it a dash race because it went by pretty quick there. But who gets it done for you, Max?
All the guys over at Wolfpack Performance, they help out a ton with the setup and everything. Without them, I don't know what I'd be able to do. They give me all my feedback on what we do, and they're just a great group of guys.
There you have it. Well, Max, congratulations again. Obviously, one spot short than you'd like to be, but overall, a pretty good night for you.
Yeah, let me just throw something in there real quick. I'd
Yeah,
also
sure.
like to thank Evolution Race Cars. They hook us up with some sweet paint schemes. They really know how to send us out onto the track in style. So if you don't know who they are, check them out. His name's Dante Curtis. He's probably one of the best I know.
And so with that, we translate things down to the virtual Gatorade victory lane tonight, where Chase Cabri walks away with $50 more that he came into tonight with. He is the winner of the second annual Studio Ted Raps Fast Legends Million at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Chase, I guess you like to win races. This one from the pole, but it wasn't that easy, and your back bumper proves it. Walk us through these 100 laps.
Oh, these little cars are probably one of the hardest cars on iRacing to drive, in my opinion. They're so finicky. You know, you get down in the corner and you get on the brake a little too hard, and all of a sudden she's completely sideways on you, or you breathe on the grass and it's gone. These cars are super hard to drive, and so I was kind of learning throughout the race. Spent a lot of laps in these cars throughout the years on iRacing, and they're one of my favorite cars, but they're not very easy to drive, and Max gave me a good run for my money there. I knew that on the final restarts, if I could just get through turns 1 and 2, or through 3 and 4 without him getting into me, we were going to be all right there on that final restart, considering there was only about 3 laps left. But Max, I felt he was a little bit faster than me when he hit his marks, but just was able to pull it through and run 100 clean laps, and be able to come out of there a winner.
And Andy just spoke with him, but he said that he felt like he may have been a little bit better into the corner, which is why he was given a couple of opportunities to get to that bumper, but you were a lot better off the corner. We talked about this being the Bowman Gray of iRacing, these Legends tracks, with no banking, no lateral grip, and you got to power these guys out of turn 2 and 4 to get down the straightaways. Maybe what do you think it was for that 39 car to be able to get up and off the corner that you were doing that allowed you to maybe get that spacing that kept him just far enough away to not be able to get to you, especially after you mentioned you made it through 1 and 2 on that final restart. By the time you get down to 3 and 4, you had a pretty good gap.
Yeah, I've actually ran a race in the Bojangles Summer Shootout in real life here. So I had some real life experience coming into tonight, and just knowing breaking points, and you can really transfer it. It's you wouldn't think that it's that close, but especially with these legend cars, iRacing did an incredible job at getting them as close as possible, and I could transfer what I learned there to iRacing, and I'd honestly say that on iRacing they're actually a little bit harder. So just breaking points in the center of the corner, getting on the brake, just barely breathing on it to kind of turn it, and then you can get up on the throttle and drive off. Knowing that the banking will hold you, stuff like that just really helped me off exit. So I think a little bit of just me racing in real life here helped me get the job done here tonight.
So you can not only winning it on the intermediate racetracks in the trucks, but you're winning it on the short tracks in the Legends, and you walk away with $50 tonight, courtesy of Studio 10 Wraps. What's next for you?
Next, I actually fly out to the Snowball Derby to go to watch that and be a film guy for Christian Eckes. I'm running late models next year and gonna go shake hands, meet faces, and smile, and hopefully learn some good stuff. So I'm gonna fly out, go to that. When I come home, gonna go back at it full swing.
We wish you the best of luck at a safe trip. The sponsors, the shout-outs to people behind the scenes that allow you to do this on the sim and on the real-world side of things as well. Chase, who makes it happen for you?
And the real side, I gotta thank my dad and my mom for everything that they do. Cardinal Paint and Body Shop, they've stepped aboard this year, and it's just all around kind of a family effort right now, and hopefully we can progress to make it something better. But thank you to you guys, Evan. I've listened to you and Andy for 2 nights in a row now, and it's a pleasure listening to you guys. I put you guys on the screen next to me, and it keeps me pumped during the race. Laura, once again, did an amazing job. There's no downfall with her. She's always on it. And thank you to Fast for letting me come and race tonight, and ready to go back at it when I can.
We appreciate your car out there keeping things fresh. Winner again, and talk about a back-to-back trip to Victory Lane on LSRTV this weekend. Chase Cabri, your winner at the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. Chase, take care. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, sir.
The 39 car ends up on top of the pile tonight, Andy. He walks away with $50, but as I mentioned before, for Max Hanley, Michael Cozy Jr., 2nd and 3rd, Mark Arthur, Austin Jones, 4th and 5th, and then Spencer Preet, Paul Fugate, Jack Hanley, Todd Cousins, and James Bunce through 10th. They're also walking away with a little bit of dough in the back pocket.
Yeah, and that's a pretty cool thing for these guys, and of course that can't happen without sponsors, and these guys paid a small little entry fee for this too. So a lot of chances for these guys to do some great racing, and the guys over here at Fast do a great job with that, with some of these prestigious races that they put on, short track style. And one of the biggest ones they do coming up here, I believe in a couple weeks here, is the Snowball Derby itself here for Fast. So that one's going to be exciting also. So that's coming up soon, and hope everybody tunes in for that, because we'll be right here on LSR TV for that also.
And I believe that'll be the 13th of December on a Sunday that you're going to want to tune in for that one. But before we go forward to that, there's a lot of racing action coming up, Gabe. But we don't always get to see these legend cars out here on track. And Fast gives us a unique opportunity to not only get into the short track side of things, but to see these legend cars and stuff. And it was a fun race. I enjoyed it. These guys, and again, they were going at it. They were hitting each other, and they were able to laugh about it at the end. And that's what you want to see.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I haven't raced these things in years. Once I got out of the rookie series and the advanced rookie series, I just left the cars. I didn't really get the chance to really race them. I just moved up to the C class. I may come back and do this series or the iRacing series. It was very good racing, and you're talking about tonight. These guys, they beat the living crap out of each other, but they were able to hold on to it. And 39, he held on to it great, and Chase Cabry, he was able to walk away with the win.
He's a winner, Andy. He won last night as well in the United Sim Racing Trucks and gets the job done here. That's a pretty diverse change, an intermediate track and a truck to the Charlotte Legends Oval in a Legends car, and he had to work for it, though. I mean, these fast guys didn't make it easy on him. They made him work for that $50.
Oh, absolutely. But he's going to take that back to his boys over there at USR and wave that $50 bill in their face, telling them that he got it done and whatnot. So no, it's definitely a huge difference running the tracks at Atlanta, or the trucks at Atlanta, and then coming here to race this in this tiny little flat oval here at Charlotte is definitely a totally different thing. But hey, he was able to get it done and wins last night and gets the job done here tonight. Gets the big bucks.
And although it might not be a large investment towards this, you talk about the real world side of racing that he does, the $50 could go to some help from Studio 10 Wraps, tonight's title sponsor. With the help of the best designers in the business, we take your idea and turn it into the best looking car on track. So Studio 10 Wraps provided motorsports wrap as well as UTV wraps. Their website is studio10wraps.com, and you can give them a call at 770-965-9113. A big part of making this Fast Legends Million possible on LSRTV. That does it, though, from the Bowman Gray of iRacing. I like that title. On behalf of everybody at Fast at LSRTV, for myself, Evan Pasoko, Andy Kessler, Gabriel Wood, and Laura Lawson, we thank you so much for tuning in. Congrats to Chase Cabry, your winner, and walks away $50 richer. He is the champion of the second annual Studio 10 Wraps Fast Legends Million in Concord, North Carolina. Good night for LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.